Back to Apple's Super Copy Reviews. Today we're going to be doing a review on the Airpods 2 second generation wireless charge compared to the Airpods second generation wireless charge clone from Pods Bay, which they've sent me. Also, we're going to be mentioning one or two key details about the i200 TWS that you guys might want to be aware of. I'm going to do a more full review on the i200 TWS next week, so stay tuned for that one. I've also included in the description and the comment section below the links about where you can find the clone Airpods 2 second generation wireless charge. Also, for everybody watching, I'd just like to say a real special thank you very much. The last video that we published on the i100 TWS ended up getting 10,000 views, so that really made me feel really quite pleased that you guys responded to that video so well. So thank you very much for that. Just quickly, for those of you who are talking about the i200 TWS being like the super clone or the super copy or the perfect copy because it has the ear sensors, etc., I'm going to do a full review on that next week, but I just wanted to let you guys know that the information that I've received from some of the other companies that manufacture these in their factory, the i200 TWS is exactly the same as the i100 TWS. The only difference is it has writing on the case. That is literally the only difference between the two units. So for this one, I basically went down to the Apple store today and I picked up this one. So this is basically just, fresh. I already cut off the plastic from it before, so apologies for that, but I wanted to make sure it worked. Otherwise, this would be a very short video. So straight away, as you can see from the front, they're pretty much the same. Get rid of that there. So if somebody went to you and they basically just showed you these in the store and they said that they were both the real deal, I think that I'd probably believe that they were. They look absolutely identical from the front. And as you can see from the back of these units on the back, you've got the design by Apple in California, assembled in China situation. That's written in a brushed matted stainless steel finish. On the fake clone ones, which I also grabbed as well, on the back of these, there's no design by Apple in California. This one does have a stainless steel finish here. I do want to mention specifically though, this is a review unit that has been sent to me. So the actual units that are sold, they do have the writing on the back that does say designed by Apple in California, assembled in China. So this is a review unit that has been sent to me where I specifically asked for the markings to be removed. Why did I do that? Because I can't make videos on YouTube where it shows intellectual property markings. So I'm not allowed to do that. So I specifically asked for this unit to be sent to me where the markings are not shown. So the real ones that'll be in the description, they do have the markings on the back. What I can show, because it's kind of difficult to make out, is underneath here you can see that they do have the markings under the lid. They do have the markings on the earbuds themselves on the left and right. The only difference is I specifically asked in this review unit for them to remove that on the back of the case. But the real ones that they do sell on their website, they will have the writing on the back. So the only difference between the two of these realistically is this is done in a finish matted brushed steel look, whereas this is a bit more of a shiny stainless steel situation. The button is in the same place on both of them exactly. The charge light on the front is pretty much identical. I think maybe this one might be a tad bigger than that one, but it's kind of difficult to make out. It might just be my eyes. They both charge either wirelessly or via Lightning Connect. So we'll put that aside. So this was the real one, that was a clone one. We'll just bring out iPad here. Bear with me 1 second. And we'll open it up. So the replica clone one also has the H1 or the W1 chip as well. So you just press connect, it ends up connecting itself. Just give it a few moments, and it shows you the accurate percentage charge case on the earbuds and on the case themselves. So then you click done, and then obviously you are connected. For the real one, we'll open it up. Just give it a few moments. So press connect, and as you can see, there is a slight difference in how they connect. It ends up naming them as your own AirPods. Earbuds, case, also accurate percentage charge. And if you open them up again in the future though, they pop up kind of like that. So then they end up looking exactly the same type of connection as the replica clone copy. So that was the real ones, and we'll just open it up again. So that's the clone copy, connect, give it a few moments, same thing. So they pretty much connect in an exactly identical way. The only main difference is for the clone one, they're called AirPods. You can't call them like, you know, Justin's AirPods, Gavin's AirPods, Tina's AirPods. For the real AirPods, you can customize the name that you call them in the settings, so they can be, you know, like Brian's AirPods or whatever you wanted to call them. I was going to do you guys a bit of an audio test to show you the differences between the real AirPods and the clone AirPods, but unfortunately I'm not going to be able to do that. The reason being is for the second generation wireless, they have the sensors in the earbuds, so whenever I take the earbuds out of my ears and, you know, bring them close to the microphone to kind of let you listen to the music, they automatically pause and start playing from the device that I've used to connect them, so I can't really show you the music that way, unfortunately. What I can confirm is that I use these about 3 or 4 hours a day between the two of them. They sound identical. There's really no other way that I can put it other than putting it that simply. They sound exactly the same. I can't tell any difference between the two of them. One thing that I would want to mention, which I think is probably the more important comparison, the Super Copy has a chipset in it which is made by a well-known Taiwanese semiconductor company called Realtek. Realtek's a company that's listed on the stock exchange. It's been around since like the 1980s. It makes professional audio and PC gear, etc. The chip that's inside this is a Realtek chipset, which makes the sound do really well on bass, really well on treble, and pretty decently on the battery life. So from that perspective, if you're looking for a sound that matches the sound of the real AirPods, it's got to be the Super Copy with the Realtek chipset. Those who are buying the i100 or the i200, the chipset in those is slightly inferior, so the treble sounds really good, it's got a good connection, etc., but it can't really handle bass, or if you put up the volume to say 100% and you're listening to something with a lot of bass in it, it's going to distort a little bit, whereas the clone Super Copy replica isn't. Somebody continued to ask me in other videos, and I've seen the comments a few times asking the question about what's the difference in their weight between the two of them. So we'll just do that for you guys real quick. The difference in the weight is a little bit. For the real AirPods one, that's basically 49 grams. For the clone one, that's going to be 34 grams. So there's a fairly definite noticeable difference there in terms of the weight between the two of them. But I mean, realistically, how often are you going to be going to your friends or people you don't even know and you're like, hey, take this, man, and tell me if it's a fake or something like that? Of course you're not going to do that. At the end of the day, everybody buys something because A, it sounds good, B, it has the same features as the real thing, and C, obviously, hopefully it comes at a bit of a discount. So this is $199 US. This is $70 US. So the discount between the two of them is quite extreme. They both connect in exactly the same way. They both wirelessly charge. They both sound exactly the same. The weight isn't quite the same. They both have the writing on the back of the case. They both have the writing under the lids, and they both have the writing on the earbuds themselves. So realistically, $199 compared to $70 USD, it's pretty hard to not seriously consider going with the clone. Don't get me wrong, I love most of Apple's stuff and I own a considerable amount of it myself, but for people that are looking to get, I guess, the best performance for the price that they've spent, it's absolutely got to be the Super Copy, hands down, bar none. That's more than 100% price difference between the two of them, and they look utterly identical, and they both have pretty much exactly the same features. The only thing that the Super Copy clone misses out on is it doesn't have the in-ear sensors like the real AirPods one does. But I think for my money in terms of the difference in price between the two of them. It's a bit of it's not a major deal considering how much you're saving from that point of view. But really appreciate your time watching the video, so thanks very much for all the views that we got on the last one. Again, do subscribe to the channel, give it a like, give it a thumbs up, comment in the description below about which one you'd like to see. Would you like to win the Super Copy, the i100 or the i200? I will also be including a microphone test which will be inserted into this video because I kind of didn't get